From the outside, the Miller house looked warm and peaceful. But inside, the dinner table was heavy with silence. Ethan sat across from his father, David, a former Marine with cold eyes and a voice sharp as a blade. "If Jake was still alive, he'd make me proud," David said. Jake, Ethan's late brother, had died in combat, and since then, his shadow haunted every corner of the family. Ethan's mother softly reminded, "It's Ethan's birthday today, David." No reply. Ethan looked at Jake's photo and whispered, "Dad, do you ever think that I miss him too?" Silence filled the room. Outside, the rain began to fall. Some houses seemed peaceful, but inside, storms rage no one else can hear. Ethan sped through the rain, the roar of the engine blending with his father's words, echoing in his head. "Men aren't supposed to be weak." He slammed the steering wheel, shouting, "I'm tired of being strong when all I want is to breathe." Through the downpour, he saw an old man walking slowly with a tattered umbrella. Calm, gentle, eyes as still as a lake. The next morning, Ethan returned to that same street. The man introduced himself as Mr. Cole, once a music teacher, now living alone. "You don't need to escape the noise," Mr. Cole said. "You just need to learn how to listen." To silence, raindrops tapped on the cafe's tin roof. For the first time in years, Ethan felt his chest loosen. That night, Ethan opened an old drawer and took out a yellowed envelope. On it, shaky handwriting read, "To Dad, from the son you never really saw." He opened it and read slowly, "Dad, I'm not Jake. I just want you to see me as me." His voice cracked. "Maybe you never hated me. Maybe you just didn't know how to love me." Outside, the rain had stopped. Ethan sat quietly listening to the ticking clock, to the faint hum of the night. For the first time, the noise inside him faded away. That was the first time I truly heard silence. The next morning, Ethan returned home. David was fixing the fence, sweat on his brow. "What are you doing here?" his father asked, voice cold. "I came to say, I'm sorry, and thank you," Ethan said softly. David froze, eyes trembling. "I'm sorry too. I was scared of losing you, so I held on to the wrong way of loving." Ethan stepped closer, placing a hand on his father's shoulder. No words, just wind rustling through the trees. Sometimes silence is the warmest answer there is. Sunlight spilled across their faces, and for the first time, they looked at each other not as strangers, but as father and son. A week later, Ethan returned to the cafe, but Mr. Cole was gone. On the table, a small notebook remained, with a single line written inside. "When you learn to hear silence, you'll also hear those you love, even if they're no longer here." Ethan smiled faintly. Outside, sunlight streamed through the coffee cup, glimmering like a tear of light. Maybe the world was never too loud. I just never learned how to listen. Music faded in, soft and warm. The storm within him was finally still. Morning light poured through the window, painting gold across the porch. Ethan sat there, holding Mr. Cole's old notebook. He read the faded line again. "Silence isn't emptiness. It's where the heart begins to speak." David stepped out, holding 2 cups of coffee. "Morning coffee, son." Ethan took one. Their eyes met. No words needed. Jake's shadow was gone. Only forgiveness remained. A gentle breeze passed. The sun rose higher. Ethan smiled, looking out at the horizon. "I realized silence isn't the absence of sound. It's when the heart finally finds its own rhythm." The camera pulled back. The world bathed in golden light. A new chapter began, quietly and beautifully.